All right, so I got a question recently whether you can use the camera in your Ford F350 while driving down the road, and this is a 2022 version, right? So at first I thought you couldn't because the camera always turns off after you start moving. You know, if you put it into reverse, it comes on, and then as soon as you start moving forward, the camera goes off. So I decided to do a little test while on the road today, and it turns out you can actually use the camera while you're driving down the road at speed. Let's take a look at that and see what that looks like. All right, so here's my camera over my 12-inch display here, which is pretty cool. So we're going down the road right now, probably traveling at 40 miles an hour, and I can go up here and I can hit the camera button, and then that turns on the camera. So now you see the camera right there. And then while I'm in camera mode, I can also switch to different cameras. I can see my hitch camera. So that's actually the road that is showing you. It just doesn't, it looks like a fuzzy screen, but it's not. So I can go back in and select the auxiliary camera, which I don't have one. Otherwise that would show an image right there. So I can go back in again and select the bed camera, and you can see that while you're driving. So this is not all the camera modes. You'll see here, if I come to a stop, your camera modes, you actually have more camera modes, all right? So you can turn it off by selecting this button right here, and then you're back to the actual map. Again, traveling 40 miles an hour, select the camera, and then in here, you can, it goes back to the last camera that you were in. So you can then go in here and select any of these, you know, depending on how many you have. That's 4 options if you've got the auxiliary, and that's just 3 options if you don't have that auxiliary camera. I'm coming up on a red light, so I'll be able to stop. And once I stop, you'll see that my camera options actually switch as well up there, and you'll be able to see the surround camera.
Turn left.
And you'll be able to see the surround camera and all those other options. So, all right, I've come to a stop now. When I select the camera options, now you've got surround, you've got the front camera, front and corners, and all the other options that we had before. So those will disappear, of course, as soon as you start moving, and then you just go back to that 4 camera option. So still pretty cool that you can be on the road and still see, you know, your camera. Like right now, this is the car behind me, and if I was to start moving, all right, so you see that camera. That's interesting actually. So the camera didn't go away, but the reason why is because we had manually activated it. So that camera is still on at this point. But if we hadn't activated the camera manually, it would have by now disappeared. So, and gone back to your navigation menu or whatever. But you can go up here and turn it off, and then now you're back to normal mode, you know, which is just navigation. So, well, at this particular moment anyway. So basically, to answer your question, can you use the camera in your Ford F350 while driving? Yes, you can. You can be on the highway. I'm doing, you know, 60, 70 miles per hour right now, and the camera is, if we switch over, the camera is still on, and then when you select this, you've got all your other options right there. So, and we're all the way up to 75 miles per hour. So I don't think that camera actually ever turns off until you turn it off yourself manually. So yes, your camera does work in the 2022 Ford F350 while you're driving down the road. So hopefully that's helpful. Peace.